If you had to guess who's watching The Walking Dead, who do you like? Just if you have to pick a person out of a crowd that's watching Walking Dead, who is that person?
I don't know.
What are they wearing?
Uncle
What are they
Terry.
doing?
I'll ask him. He might be.
Who are you asking?
My Uncle Terry.
Uncle Terry.
Uncle
okay,
Terry.
great. Can you describe him?
Yeah. Well, actually, my Uncle Terry. I have a lot of uncles, but my Uncle Terry is
already great.
He's one of the cool ones. He's my hometown resident. Like, he's one of the only like artists.
Yeah.
In the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the board members of the Krasl Art Center, which is the art center of downtown St. Joseph, Michigan.
Oh, and what do they got in there?
Oh, they actually got some cool stuff. They got one. What's that guy who does like the fancy glass blowing?
I don't know, but I wish the audience could enjoy your arm gestures today. Maggie went into, I'm going to say a 4-minute story before this started.
Yeah, I did.
About a documentary about a man who lost his soul with an octopus. Octopus is what, I think this is the best way to describe
Absolutely.
She used her arms in ways that I did not think were possible. She defied the laws of physics with her arms.
I became an octopus to describe my feelings on this document.
She really was empathetic to the octopus in a way that, frankly, it's lost now.
It's lost
you know?
forever.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish somebody was recording it.
But
they were
no,
not.
just between you and me.
Yeah. They were
That's
not.
what we call personal theater.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing all day long, I would argue.
Yeah.
Right? See, you don't know what it's like to be a family member of one of these two maniacs. Family members have to sit there and do a lot of nodding. You know, they get really intimately acquainted with the contents of their pocket. You know, learn how to check their phones in ways that we don't see. Invisibly checking the phone.
Dang.
That's a real family skill.
True.
Okay, so welcome to I'll Show You My
Hey. Choking down my Diet Coke from McDonald's.
Can you tell the audience how McDonald's has captured your heart?
Well, actually, I am very sentimental for McDonald's because my grandmother worked at McDonald's her whole life. Yeah.
Wow.
Basically. I mean, my youngest memories is of me going to McDonald's and my grandmother's working there, so she gets to make me Mickey Mouse pancakes, which, she would make me Mickey Mouse pancakes at the McDonald's. Yeah, which now seems like some sort of cross-promotion contamination, like... I don't think they would allow that, but
So this was in a time where they were still kind of cooking things there.
I assume
right?
so. Although she would tell me to please never order milkshakes from McDonald's, and I'm passing that along. Please never order.
What do we know?
According to my grandma, who I trust, she said that there are no instructions on how to clean it, and so no one ever does.
Oh no. No.
That's just the little nugget I'll pass along.
That's more than a nugget. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to figure out how to evacuate the contents of my entrails at some point. Because at least within the last month, I've probably had a McDonald's milkshake.
Oh, dang. Well,
Maybe not a month. Maybe a couple months. I snuck out once from the quarantine and had a milkshake.
Milkshake. Milkshakes are fucking bomb. They're bomb, so.
I'm not going to make them.
No.
What, am I bringing in bananas and peanut butter in here?
No.
I don't even have a blender.
They taste worse at home. Always.
Right.
I don't know why.
They're probably better for you at home. That's why.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. They're not made with like blocks of sugar or whatever they're putting in there, you know?
Oh, man, you're convincing me to not care about the not cleaning up the milkshakes, but I'm standing strong because that was my grandma.
What? For grandma's sake. Wait, but you don't have to go to McDonald's for a milkshake.
No.
I mean, you
could go anywhere.
The nice thing about McDonald's milkshakes, there's a lot of not nice things. But one good thing is it goes through the straw.
It goes through the straw.
So you go to In-N-Out, and it's like, bros, I'm sure this is wonderful, but I don't want to eat my drinks. I don't want to use a spoon for my drinks. I want it to go through a straw and into my head, where I enjoy it, where I will enjoy it.
Preferably to skip the mouth, just straight into my head.
Can you pour it in my ear canal, please?
Up the nose is the quickest way.
Yeah.
But so anyways, that's, so every once when I treat myself, I think, grams.
My favorite part about this is it's become part of the routine of recording this podcast that we'll set a time, and then about 20 minutes before that time, I'll get a text from Maggie, and the Maggie text goes as follows: on my way, getting some nugs. That's what I appreciated it. I appreciated it. I was like, did you need anything else? Not just the nugs.
No,
okay.
just the nugs.
Great. She's got her nugs. She's all ready. So, Maggie, how you been doing? What you been up to?
I mean, it's pretty great. Pretty great. Pretty fucking great tight. No, I mean, yesterday we went to Home Depot and finally bought the last cinder block plank thing that we needed to make our makeshift conversation pit living room complete.
I've seen your living room. I can't envision how this works.
I did take photos.
Okay, great. We're gonna. I will describe for the audience what the photo depicts.
Great.
While you find it. So you're getting cinder blocks from Home Depot, and how is Will treating you?
Oh,
they're behaving themselves?
Absolutely. The cats are great. Yeah, so here's a little bloop. See, cute little, like, surrounded on all sides with books.
That is very cute. So what she means is, effectively, she's created a bookshelf out of boards and cinder blocks. Yeah. And on that bookshelf are many great books, it appears, and also it looks like a Garfield stuffed toy. Is that Garfield?
Oh, that is just a monster that
Just a monster.
My
Regular
grandpa
monster.
got that for me from bingo. He won bingo and sent it to me.
Your grandmother runs a McDonald's. Your grandfather wins toys for you.
Yes.
So you have a child's best grandparents, is what you have.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
I have giant containers worth of McDonald toys.
Wow.
From all the way from like early 90s to 2000s era.
Any of them still work for you? Or are they all-
Absolutely. I mean, there are some like collectors ones that we got buried deep down in there. The Moon Man face, McKnight.
Yeah, Moon
Yeah,
Man.
we got the McKnight
Playing
set.
jazz. What was the Moon? What happened to Moon Man? They ship him off in the night? What happened to him?
People realized that he was scary because he was.
He's a weird creature, yeah. But he was
scary.
also like, you think he's still...
When I was a kid, he's scary. Yeah. My grandmother hands me toys of the scary Moon Man, and I don't get it.
I just like the way he was like, at home in the evening.
That's true.
Just...
Did you know Doug Jones, the actor, played Moon Knight? That was one of his first.
You could have said anything. You could have said anybody played Moon Knight, and how would I know?
Well, there you go.
Did you know it was Rosie O'Donnell?
Did you know?
Okay. How could you tell?
There you go.
It was like a gigantic styrofoam headpiece and like a jacket. That's all it was. Well, this has been our second straight episode where we've explored McDonald's lore.
Yeah.
So can we just one more thing about you, if you don't mind? No. Cat-wise,
yes,
they're behaving themselves.
Oh, they're darlings.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any updates. Murphy does this thing. I don't know if this can be explained. Listeners, if your cat does this or if you've ever heard of this. So Murphy only does this to Will's shirts, not my shirts.
Okay.
But if Will leaves a shirt in the living room, the cat will go nutso and rub its face and lick Will's armpit.
That's for salt or something, right?
It must be, or
the deodorant or something.
The deodorant, or my thing is because I am a lot more hands-on with the cats.
Yeah.
And so is Will, but to the effect where I'm like, oh, maybe they're just making sure that Will's part of the family, so they're rubbing the scent all over themselves.
Could be. That makes sense. I mean, it's not a disturbing thing.
When you see it.
It freaks you out?
It'll go on for like an hour. It's like this.
Just getting that salt right in its face.
Like and it goes into like a trance. It's something to behold.
Wow. I mean, at least it's not a crotch area.
No. Yes.
That's
yes.
Well, actually, I don't think that would bum you out as much, would it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to feel about it. It's a fun cat quirk.
Sure.
And the other cat is just
normal.
Normal. The other cat is the one that follows me around all day, going. Mee,
Yeah, the one that bleats at you. Yeah, the one that bleats at you like a bird.
Yeah.
They seem to have developed the skill at selfies.
Oh,
They
yeah.
seem to have developed a selfie skill. So
They're good at taking photos. They'll know now when I'm holding up my phone. They'll see like their ears in it, and they'll
they know what's up.
They know what's going on.
They're showing you their good side and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And they're also very good at catching flies. They'll catch flies all day long.
What are they doing with them?
Eating them. Yeah,
Okay,
they'll
great.
eat them. They'll catch them.
What are you gonna do?
I cheer them along.
Yeah.
I say,
I guess it's better than
yay, my
flies.
babies.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
This trip to Home Depot, every time I go to the store now, I vacillate between the two extremes. I think we all do of like, I got to get out of here as fast as possible. And also like, this is the only time I'm getting out, baby. I'm going to handle that
What if
wood.
I just walked down this aisle?
I'm going
for
to
a
yank that
moment?
chain. I'm going to look at all these different caulking substances. I'm doing it. All these are
doing it.
sexual references. You're welcome. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna like, every lamp's getting turned on. Like
I
just
know,
everything.
I know.
So where did you land on that spectrum?
I always try to strike a balance. I'm a fast walker, so it's like, okay, I could like spin around and like, okay, maybe I need some like grease fighting spray. So I'll just, I'll meet you in a minute. I'm just gonna zip around, and I kind of just go around.
It's really just to walk in new scenery, right?
Just to
That's
walk
really all
and
it
look.
is. Okay.
I used to just like wandering around in stores and looking at things, not even buying anything.
Interesting.
I would say that is a fun thing that I would like to do, but I can't really do anymore. So when we go for a purpose, I like to.
You wander off, and Will lets you do it for a good 10, 15, and it's like, all right, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the Maggie Mobile.
Hey.
I just wanted it to be a car with your face on it. That's all I want on it. Yeah.
How are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah. This month work's lighter, so I've been
good.
I got about 40 pages of my other script going right now.
Ooh, nice.
I'm hoping to be done with that one by the end of the year. That would be good.
Yeah.
So that.
Ooh.
And like I'm just making the routine mean something.
Yeah.
What else can you do?
What else can you do?
What else can you do? My plants are suffering, except for that one plant I showed you in the bedroom that is
That's a good plant.
doing great. Yeah. I think it's called, you're going to like this, I think it's called Mother-in-Law's Tongue.
No, really? Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's
That's
insane.
funny.
It's like, that's crazy.
Barbara, watch out. Getting you something fun for Christmas.
Totally unacceptable name, but worth passing on. Nonetheless.
Passing on. That's really funny.
I am doing a very little bit of COVID safe dating, just very little bit. And this one particular woman, we're talking about a park adventure, and I've realized, like I haven't done anything like that at all in 6 months or like more. So like it kind of doesn't matter how good the date is. It's just going to be like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Outdoors for a good reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Like walking around.
Yeah. Just being out there. just being out there, man. Just being out there. Yeah. Also, I have a good feeling about the character of this person. That's all. Yeah. And I've as I've documented, and we will further document, no doubt. I've often dated women who were not serious endeavors, if that makes sense.
Yes.
This woman has more of the makings of a serious endeavor. Whether it gets further than one wrong turn at the picnic, who can tell? Who knows? But she seems very sweet. We had one video chat, which I hate.
Oh, yeah.
I hate those for dating.
Like
it's
that.
the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Like I can't. FaceTime to me for dating is like has one or two very specific purposes, and beyond that, it's like you don't want to stare at somebody's face all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's man. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
It's not even that they don't look good. It's not that. It's just like this isn't how conversations work, but there's nothing else to do. I can't look at the decorations or the waiter or the the food or whatever it is.
There's no cushion, no padding, no smooth.
Yeah, and you're also not like the easiest thing to do is just like reach out and touch this person. Because that changes the view.
Exactly.
The view changes.
Yeah.
can't do that on a video call. It's literally just staring at a mug, and then you're like, so then, of course, because I'm a narcissist, so I imagine at least some of you are, I imagine at that point that we're probably, I'm just thinking about how my face looks. I'm looking crazy right now. I don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
Not the best, but nice human being. Hopefully, it continues.
Good.
We'll see.
Who
can say?
We'll see.
Who can say? So, today's episode was brought to us by one of our patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
Now, I'm sorry to inform all of you, I don't have an updated list of our subscribers or our bosses. So the boss list they're going to get is the same list we had from last time.
Gotcha.
Now, and we're gonna do that a little bit later. So let's introduce the topic if we can.
Great.
Maggie, what did we do this time? Can you tell me?
Yeah, so we did the topic, movies you love to hate.
Oh. Now that one won far and away in the poll.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see the interesting.
Yes. The pump up playlist, a topic I genuinely enjoy. They hate it. They don't want to do that ever. I don't know.
All right. Well, good thing they don't pick every single topic.
They just hate it.
Wow.
I've snuck it on there. I don't know how many times, and they're just like, "Fuck your playlist, bro." Like, hey, bro, fuck your playlist.
We don't want you to be pumped up.
We don't want that. We'll vote for literally anything else. I don't want it. Don't want it. So I'm gonna have to find some way to do this podcast in defiance. There's nothing else we can do. I did find this list of podcast producers,
bosses, yes.
bosses, and we are gonna read at least to the halfway point. But again, if there are new subscribers, new bosses,
we'll get you next
you'll
time.
be mentioned.
Yeah,
it'll happen. Don't you worry. But I don't have a new list.
Yeah, and if anyone is listening now and being like, "Well, I want to be on that list," you can be.
Yeah, nobody's stopping you.
No one's stopping you.
Nobody, but your choice is the only thing in the way.
It's your fault.
Nothing but your choices have led you to this moment. Fix them, and you shall join the great herd of weirdos that makes this podcast happen. Did you want to read the first couple?
Sure, I'll read the first couple. All right. Oh, once again, my favorite people. John Williams,
yes.
Of course.
Thank
we
you.
know who you are.
Thank you.
The famous
Maggie,
composer.
there's a Star Wars game out right now. Did you know this?
Yes.
It's about TIE fighters and X-Wings. You don't have a PlayStation. That's the problem.
I don't. But Will's friend wrote on it.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I was going to say, we should be doing this. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but...
We should actually be.
We can.
I mean, I don't have anything going
Fair
on.
enough. What the fuck do I got better to do?
Oh, God.
Thank you, John Williams.
Thank you, John Williams. Thank you, Firewalker, the weed strain. And
favorite.
Or also maybe a reference to David Lynch. We don't know. Christopher
We're going to... Both.
Both.
How can that weed strain not be named after that David Lynch movie?
It must actually just
Get
be.
the hell out of here. It's gotta be. Gotta be.
You know why it's called Firewalker is because Fire, OG, is one strain and Skywalker is another strain. Together equals.
By the way, you are killing it in the hand gesture game today. I genuinely wish anybody but me was here to enjoy it. I really do. Just know,
man.
Firewalker, you got so much joy out of those hands.
I'm not even Italian. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not.
Okay.
Not a lick.
You have another. Did you want to thank anybody else?
I did. Christopher Williams, the brother of John Williams, I'm assuming. Great. Nathan Wells. We know where you were born. In a well. Corey Robertson. Spit out. His water.
We're all named in the place we were born. That's why most of us are named Hospital. My secret last name is Adam Hospital.
Maggie Ditch.
Thank you.
Corey Robertson, Jason Miller, and Christopher with a K. Olsen.
Christopher Olsen.
Yeah.
Obviously, we made the Olsen twins joke, right? We have to have made that.
We must have.
You know, there's a third Olsen.
Yeah.
And that one's like the good actor, right? That's what I hear.
Yeah. Well, the twins, after they became legal age, they were like, we don't remember any of our childhood, and we're never acting again.
You see, whenever you see pictures of them, it's hard not to like impose. They're like a Rorschach for your judgments. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like you could easily think they look sad, or they look like happy, or they look drugged out, or they don't.
Yeah.
Like they're a Rorschach test. You don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
You're just putting all your presuppositions on those poor Olsens.
Those poor Olsens.
The third Olsen, I've heard she's a good actor. Where are we on the Culkins now? What's the best Culkin acting wise?
Man, oh my God. So speaking of signs.
Thank you. Well, we haven't yet, but thank you for spoiling it.
We're about to. That is the lesser Culkin. Yeah, the little boy.
Yeah, Rory? Is that, I forget which one his name is.
I forget which one too, but I took a really funny screenshot of my favorite composition from
He's
the film.
very funny in the sense that all the Culkins are funny to watch in some way or the other because they all have such a Culkin thing.
Yeah.
But what about Kierkegaard, right? The one that was in Scott Pilgrim?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he's the one that's primarily acting and things right now.
Okay. While you're looking for this, Richard R. Kaminsky, all caps. You're the hero we always wanted. Ben. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben.
Nicholas Fabian. Boy, he's got to be beautiful, right?
Absolutely.
Nicholas Fabian, that guy wears a cape.
Yeah.
Right? Has to.
You're beautiful, Nicholas.
Yeah, no doubt. Adam Duncan. I believe Adam Duncan might be one of the people who submitted this topic.
Adam Duncan.
Might be. I know Adam Duncan has submitted topics, if I'm not mistaken. Jessica M. So intrigued by what that M stands for.
Meg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my best guess.
It also could be mom because she was born in her mom. You know what I mean? If these rules stand. Timothy Schreiner. Captain Schreiner, right?
You're right.
No, just in general.
Okay.
Let's make that man a captain.
Yeah,
Can we do
he's a
that?
captain.
Can we make him a captain? Garrett Cooper, wonderful human, Garrett Cooper. Big fan of Garrett Cooper. He attends a lot of my streams, Maggie.
Oh, well, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Cooper.
Well, they're hella streams, Maggie. They're great streams.
They're great streams.
Can't wait till you pop in. Can't wait.
This is my favorite shot composition. Where I'm tweeting this later. Look at that! Look at that abomination.
So just so that the audience, the audio files here that are listening to this experience understand, it's a picture of one of those Culkin children with Mel Gibson growing out of his body. That's what it is. It's from Signs.
Giant.
We're gonna be talking about. I don't know. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate your commentary.
You're welcome.
We're going to thank some more of our bosses later.
Great.
Maggie will definitely not be screwing off in that meeting, hopefully. So on to the topic at hand. It's only been a 23-minute intro. That means only 4 people on YouTube are going to be furious with us right now.
Oh, boy.
Well, what are you going to do?
What are you
When we have fun, we have fun. That's it.
I know.
So the topic, movies you love to hate. What does that mean to you? What does that mean?
Wonderful. Well, I mean, my pick that I picked is a wonderful little flick called Chain of Souls.
God damn it. I almost thought about smoking again.
It's a movie that would drive you to smoke. Oh man. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's barely a movie.
We'll start there.
Yeah, so Maggie's forced several barely movies in front of my eyes since I've known her.
I like movies that feel like they're like someone crawling across a hot coals.
This is my theory on this. I'm getting to my theory early on this one.
Okay, great.
My theory is Maggie likes to watch movies that she could make better because there's a little Schadenfreude to it. That's what I think.
Oh, absolutely. They're fun because they're bad, for sure.
Yes, but also, I also think there's a kind of like. I think you get some pleasure out of people doing a bad job of it because there's a confidence boost to that, which by the way is what film school is.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I no longer have that experience. I have a different experience when I see a movie this bad, which is fury that someone else has made a movie and did this bad of a job with it.
Aww,
that makes me so I get viscerally angry at people who fuck up movies.
Wow.
This is my problem. I have to manage it myself because it's like, look, dude, it's so hard to make a movie. It's so hard. There's so much money at stake. You got to steal, beg, borrow, bleed, destroy, do anything you got to do to get this movie made.
Yeah.
This is like a giant penis in my eye. It's just, it's horrible. This movie's,
yeah.
like, not even just this movie, movies that are this poorly done. And this is not an ego thing. I'm not necessarily saying I could do better. I'm just saying I don't like watching somebody who tried so hard and this is all they got.
Oh, man.
You know?
The older I get, I feel almost like the more I like it, and actually less because of I am getting sick joy out of it, and there are moments that just genuinely make me fall out of my chair laughing.
Oh, no doubt. Can you summarize the movie for us?
I mean, can I? Okay, so the movie is about a girl from Podunk, Texas. That's literally the name of the town. Not a bit.
They named a city Podunk.
Podunk. One of the genius ways that this film evades and defies description is that there is no way to tell whether this was written as a comedic horror or if it was trying to be straight horror, that things just end up being funny, and I have no idea.
I think the key to understanding that is, are they trying to make jokes? Like, do they have beats that are structured like jokes?
Well, that's the thing. It's like when one of my favorite characters is like, "Oh, don't listen to Christy. She's a bitch." Like, I am laughing at that line. Yeah. Was it written as a joke, or is it funny because it's not a joke?
Right.
Why am I laughing?
Yeah.
And, you know,
boy, that's a generous interpretation.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the right one. It might. They might have been trying to be funny here.
Well, the other thing is like half of it, and this is also why I like it, is because half of it was filmed in a building that's right across from the old
clearly.
I.O. It's
clearly.
If you live in LA, you will recognize every single location, which is hilarious. So anyways, it's about a girl from Podunk, Texas, who moves to LA, and there's just a cult of people
trying to be an actress. And she and the two other actresses she meets in what must be described as a bar.
Must be described. I
don't know that it is, but that's what it looks like, I guess.
Yeah.
Team up on their audition quest, which is derailed by a satanic cult that murders women.
Right. Or they're acting to be better actors.
They do auditions to lure women in,
right,
and murder them for what they're calling rituals. But the ritual, there's nothing. It's not clear what the rituals does,
right?
Other than like Satan, right? Do they say Satan? Am I making that up?
It's more implied. It's not like a heavy theme specifically. Satan.
It's just weird murder cult.
Cult. That's the summary of it.
Yeah, who would you say is the hero of this movie if you had to pick one?
Great question. I mean, the girl from Podunk dies
at the hour mark.
I
sent a desperate text to Maggie when that happened. I was like, wait a minute. This woman died at the hour mark. What are we doing? There's another hour left of this.
Yeah, there is.
I couldn't believe it. Maggie cackled with her cats.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's like, this movie is like very long. Like they
really long. Yeah, really long.
Like they didn't need to make it this long. They shouldn't have made it this long, but it is. And yeah, her sister comes.
It reeks of person who was like, just make a feature, like just make one. It reeks of that, right?
Absolutely,
Which I have some love in my heart for.
Yeah.
Like, because when I was 23, I made a 45-minute movie that should have been 20 minutes or 15. And it's horrible. You'll never see it. It's called Vigilante. You'll never see it.
Amazing.
Terrible movie.
Great.
Just garbage.
Yeah.
Huge monster garbage. And like the reason you don't cut it is because you don't understand what you're trying to do. You just understand other movies you've seen, and you don't really understand the mechanics of how they work. You just know the scenes you like from them. So you kind of just make a series of scenes you like, and then it ultimately wraps up.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what this is.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yes.
If I had to name the protagonist of this movie, I would say it's the eldest sister.
Yeah, who comes in and...
Who is left behind in Podunk. And then after the appropriate amount of time passes.
The hour mark.
Worries.
Yes.
And then shows up in LA and is guided by a headshot photographer around I knew you loved the headshot guy. I knew it. I knew you loved him.
Love headshot guy. I love all of the side characters. Every single one.
Yeah.
As we were watching, I was like, Adam, guess who my favorite side character is? My favorite side character is the guy who says, the part has been cast. You can go now.
The rudest answer in the world to an actor. Yeah. You just can't even imagine how rude that is.
Has been cast. That's why I love this movie. It's because everyone is just at 500% in a way that I find just wonderfully admirable.
It seems to me like there's not a single person in it who'd been in a movie before.
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't seem like it.
No.
Now, I'm sure that they have. If I had to pick one person who probably was, it'd be the I'm going to use this term because it's the best one I can think of right this minute. The hot girl who's the troublemaker.
Yes.
She seemed like maybe she'd been in things before.
The bitch.
Right. That's what I was trying not to say.
I'll say
but right. Yeah. That's what she's playing. She seemed like maybe she had the kind of vibe of being comfortable in a role.
Yes.
She still wasn't convincing, but she was comfortable. Whereas like some of these people, I mean, it's like I'd never seen a film this bad at USC. Never seen one this bad at USC.
Yeah.
And I did see bad films a lot at USC all the time. I'd never seen a film this bad since I've been watching films with a critical eye, probably.
Wow!
Yeah, this is the worst film I've seen in a very long time. Yeah,
feel
very
flattered.
long time.
Yeah.
Very long time. Yeah. Why do you like it? I know you like it. Look at the joy in your heart. Look at it.
Oh my God. Okay. To me, there are so many funny moments. There are so many funny moments. There are so many quotable lines that it's either because the line is so bizarre or the delivery is so bizarre or funny to me.
Yeah.
That it's just delightful.
Did you feel an alien brain at work when you're watching this movie?
Ooh, what does that mean?
So, okay, alien brain to me is part of what makes the great bad movies. Like The Room, Tommy Wiseau is an alien brain.
Yeah.
What he thinks is happening in a movie is different than what humans think.
Yes.
It's like he's imitating a human movie. That's part of what makes it amazing. Same thing with Neil Breen. Like Neil Breen makes bad movies, but he's an alien. So they're amazing.
Yeah.
Did you feel that in this movie?
No.
I didn't either.
Yeah, this is missing the alien element, but I think that adds almost to the authenticity of it, because alien brains have an excuse for why their film is the way it is. This is people doing their goddamn best, which I actually find
that's not true.
Maybe that's not true.
They're all very young in it, by the way.
They're very young. There's a charming element to it that I think is fun and enjoyable, and it's I find myself rooting for these actors on this set as they themselves play actors being killed by trying to act. There's so many layers of just and because everyone is such a caricature of what it is like to be in LA, that it just tickles me to no end, really. And it's clearly all the people who made it live in LA, so they're not.
I don't know if they do. I'm not sure about that. The LA-ness is not there for me.
Oh, interesting.
And this is what I mean by that. It's not. There's no incisive commentary at all about what LA is.
But they're outside, inside, because they are shooting in LA.
They are in Los Angeles when they're filming it.
Within the film industry.
Correct. It definitely feels like they wrote things as they were happening, not just plot wise, but thematically.
Yes.
This was exactly their life at this moment, and they're let's make a movie. I'm interesting.
Movie. Yeah.
Let's make a movie.
Yeah.
That's me. you know?
Yeah.
And like spoilers for all of you who watch movies, you always make a movie that's you. You always do that.
Absolutely.
All of us do that.
I don't like when people try to argue that you can't, because that is what a movie
come
is.
on.
It is absolutely
Get out of
a
here.
reflection.
Postmodern thought has
Get
proven that.
out of here. Yes.
You can't,
No.
we're all making us. All
Yes.
of us are making us. Some of us just are more interesting at diffusing that and like having different viewpoints and putting it in a way that other people can relate to. That's really it. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm not offended by what this movie is in that respect, but it doesn't, it doesn't have, there's just nothing to say here. Like, what are they saying? What is the point of this?
Nothing. But that's why, oh my God. I should have written down all my favorite lines, because there's a lot of them. The part has been cast. Me and Will say that to each other.
Okay,
a lot.
can I? You know what? I'm realizing I'm being kind of a dick about this movie.
Oh, that was fine.
No. I don't want the audience to hear me being like, "Fuck these amateurs." It's not that. So, here's the thing I liked about it. Do you mind?
No, go
so
for it.
I genuinely enjoyed after a while all the actresses in it. I genuinely enjoyed them all because they're all. How do I describe this? They're all like not great, but they're also all very earnestly something charming.
Yes,
like there is something
yes.
charming about each one of them.
Absolutely.
They were clearly cast on the basis of that charm.
Yes.
And the charm really comes through for all of them in different ways. Except for I think the lead was a little not. She was actually kind of a better actor, but she wasn't as fun for me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That I liked. I was completely stunned by the choice of weapon that they murdered with over and over and over.
Oh yeah.
Which it's the douchiest knife you've ever seen in your life.
It's a douche knife. Yeah.
It's a knife that you put the handle in your palm and like it goes between your fingers and you stab them like you're making a fist. And they were just like obsessed with this knife. They thought they'd found the coolest knife, and they stabbed people in the gut. Every time, all the times,
many
dozens of times, and it was always very brutal.
Yeah,
and it's the kind of weapon that didn't make me feel horror. It made me feel like I don't like you. I don't like this knife. Like I think this is like a douchebag's decision. You know, but maybe that's right. Maybe that's the right thing. Did you feel that way? Did that strike you?
I think all the deaths are very funny to me. I laughed at all the deaths. To me, this is my favorite movie to put on during a party, because at any moment
party movie.
You could look over to it and something bananas will be happening.
This movie could save so many bad hitting on people episodes. Can you even fathom? You bring you're at a party and like, you know, just you're hitting on somebody. It's not going great. And then like look over and someone's getting hit to death with that axe handle or something stupid.
Yeah.
And you both laugh and suddenly they reboot. You know what I mean? Like this movie could really save you. That's something to think about.
It's a great bad party movie.
Amazing bad party movie.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's a pretty and also that's usually the context with which I love to hate this movie, is in a large group. Where we're all laughing at the film.
We did, you and I, well, when I say you and I, you had a party, it was like a 4th of July party like 2 years ago.
Yes.
And one of the most fun things about that party was we all sat down and watched Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
And like the point of it was really just to be Mystery Science Theater about it. And that was like, that's a thing you hear people do. Maggie actually does it, and it is very fun.
It is very fun.
Like, it's a cool party thing. This would be a cool movie for that, probably, but not to like just sit down and watch.
Yeah,
right?
This is what it's pretty slow in some spots.
Yeah.
There are spots where it's just like, okay, that it gets a little dry. But, every scene has some character that is like idiosyncratic, and it does not fit with the world the film is trying to build. It's almost like two movies simultaneously happening at the same time.
I think the reason for that is because the plot collapses once the Texan girl is killed.
Yes.
Like once she dies, the movie's not really about her or acting.
Right.
It's just about the cult. And the problem with is the cult, we don't know what the cult is.
Yeah, we don't care about the cult.
But that's the only thing the movie's about, really.
Yeah. The movie's not, I don't think it's about anything.
But like that's like the one thing that like you have to latch on to narratively.
Right.
Because we need something narratively, otherwise we're like, what is this a Kandinsky painting? What the fuck am I looking at here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's all that's left. And because of that, that's where we start to be like, although there are some great things, like that's when this woman and the headshot guy team up, which is very funny.
Oh my God.
So maybe that's the part where I let go of it being a movie. I was like, I gotta let go of this.
Yeah.
You know?
To me, it's like, I think it's like the characters live in one type of film, and this being a horror movie lives in a different type of film. And the fact that this person thought that these two things go together and are in the same film
magical.
Is just chaos. It's chaotic.
Magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to do this. Hard to do. But again, like it is the kind of thing that somebody who had no movie experience at all but dreams and had a camera, this is what they would do.
Yeah.
Like someday, if I ever make a feature that does anything that does well, I will show you Vigilante. Like on that day, I'll show it to you.
Can't wait.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I ever, make a movie for money, God willing, I will play Vigilante for you, because then it's fun to laugh at what it was. And I hope that happened for this guy. I don't know. I didn't look into him, but like,
I mean, well, that's the thing. It's like, I am of mind that, like, making art to make art is very important.
Agreed.
And even if this person never made another movie, maybe they made this movie and was like, oh, not for me.
I hate this. Yeah, I'm not good at it. Yeah.
I hated doing this, which could very well be the case.
Because the guy has some balls, because he put it on the internet, right? So like he heard what people thought.
He heard. I mean,
so gotta respect that.
Yeah, you gotta respect
that.
I respect all the actors that were in it. Like, this seemed like they were having a fun time. Like, I don't think any of them were like, went home crying that this wasn't going to be their big, it was like, I think everyone kind of knew what it was and was doing their best.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know if they know that. That's like, there's no money in it. That's for sure. Like this wasn't like a $200,000 short film or something.
No.
So like, they couldn't have looked at it and been like, this is my big break, unless they were all very naive.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I think when they watched the movie, that would have probably disabused them of that notion.
Yes.
So, don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. By the way, can we talk a little bit about the score?
Oh yeah. Will has a theory that someone just did it in one take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was just
Easily.
easily.
Easily. It felt like somebody had a piano doing the equivalent of what old ladies used to do at baseball games. Right, on an organ, like just playing along, just playing a tune. This feels like meow, 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 meow.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it really
did. Yeah, it's really
like there aren't even two instruments; it's just a keyboard.
It's just a keyboard. That is an element that you must not be missed.
I enjoy how much you love this. I do. You know what? There's something very sweet. Maybe I'm the prick here. It probably is me being the prick here, because like I just want things to be good. Like I also don't enjoy bad movies very much. Often Dave and Tom will host a thing every Friday where they watch bad movies.
Right.
And like, unless it's a perfect cocktail of like, Abe and Dave said something that made me laugh, or Tom got me with some wrestling stuff, or whatever, I'm very unlikely to stick around, because I don't like bad movies. Like, I don't think Nick Cage is good.
Right.
I'm not like, we need more of him. Like, that's not my spin zone. Like, I'm not in that. So this was a difficult topic for me. I really thought about this for a good week. I was like, what am I going to do?
Interesting.
What am I going to do? But I'm going to transition into mine if you don't mind.
I would love to.
I know you're into it.
I'm into it.
So I picked signs. Signs.
What kind of person are you, Adam?
Yeah, there's only one or two people.
There's only literally two kinds of people. And one of them believes in conspiracy theories. And the other one Oh my god! A thing that I didn't catch until this time was when he's like suing away Meryl. Will turned to me and was like, "Wait, so his like believing in signs is just like hit it with a bat, like just like hit it with a thing that's lying around the house?" But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. To talk about signs, one must first remember what one believed signs would be before it came out.
I will need to preface this that I was 11 when this came out.
Yes.
So
I was older than that. Yeah. 20 something probably, maybe. So I remember the advertisements in the theater. This got much more hype than Unbreakable did. So like this felt like to people the first real sequel to Sixth Sense.
right.
Like it was like, okay, this is going to be
back
awesome.
on his
Also,
spin.
in 2002 or 3 or whatever it was, aliens were still interesting in movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like we'd had a bunch of alien movies and this was a cool idea. It was a cool idea. Now, the biggest disappointment about it right from the jump is that it basically takes place almost entirely in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
Like it 99% of this movie, except for one trip out to the country store, takes place in this old house. And that alone is not how this movie was advertised. This movie was advertised with like sweeping scale. Right?
Dang,
because they
yeah.
used the crop stuff. That was the thing.
Right.
The cropped circles, and like everybody was talking about crop circles, and it was a thing. And so you believed you were getting a pandemic movie. You know?
Man, yeah,
like
War of the Worlds level.
Yes. You thought you were going to get a Roland Emmerich movie, but only, it was going to be made by by M. Night Shyamalan. Nope, it's not that. Nope, it's not that. So that's the first thing that immediately everyone walked away hating it.
Right.
Now, let's name some other obvious things just to get them out of the way.
Oh my god. Okay, so with the alien carbs, just perfect little moons and stars. Like
Yeah, why?
Like a
Why do they do
kindergarten
that?
room. I don't know.
Like, it's like, this will be cool at night.
I know. It looks like how a father would have decorated
Right.
his daughter's room.
Yes, why would that happen?
Why would
No idea.
that happen?
Why would an alien do it? Doesn't make any sense. That is a mildly offensive thing, but it is offensive. It's offensive to me artistically.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, and they really special on that. They're like, look at that shot.
Yeah.
So okay, so M. Night Shyamalan. I would argue M. Night Shyamalan's never made a great movie since Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense was a great movie.
Great movie.
He's never captured that since.
No.
I think he got stuck in the formula for a long time. Now he's making movies that are at least free.
Yeah, free from the formula.
And he's fundamentally really interested in B movies. Like, that's what he cares about. And we didn't know that until far too late.
That's a good point.
The Happening was intentionally a B movie.
Yeah.
This was a B movie. It was made like a B movie. It's shot in one location. The aliens look like a guy in a unitard. They're completely stupid.
Yeah.
Like, he likes B movies.
Yeah.
You know? And like, that's part of his horror. That's part of his thriller, is those tropes. And that's the opposite of what we were watching at the time. We're watching Roland Emmerich. There isn't a less B thing in the world than Roland Emmerich, because the scale, right? It was like, here's the White House blowing up, motherfucker. That's my alien movie.
Right.
So, you know, M. Night Shyamalan, in some ways you kind of love that about him, but also it's made for disappointment because he's marketed as a blockbuster filmmaker. He does not make blockbuster films. He just doesn't. He doesn't make that. Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson sucks. I'm not interested in talking about all of his bad history.
Yeah, we know it sucks.
He's no doubt, and like wherever you land on the should we forgive him, should we not scale, it's what he did's a bummer. I don't want to spend the whole episode talking about that. So let's acknowledge that and move on. So there's that. He is a good actor often. In this movie, he is incomprehensible until 2/3 of the way through. Then he's incredible.
When he's yelling that the one scene.
There's so many scenes at the end when he has to confront his pain with his wife that are incredible. Like, he's so good in like maybe 5-6 scenes in this movie, and the rest of the movie, M. Night Shyamalan has him playing this wounded guy who's closed everything off, so he feels like an alien.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this feels weird.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel good. It feels weird and stilted because that's not who Mel Gibson is.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson doesn't shut down like that.
Right. Well, also it flattened the character for so long because it
Very
was
much
like,
so.
and there are things that I like. There are there are fun editing. There are fun things about it. Like. There's one shot where it's like you suddenly see all of them sitting on the couch with like their tinfoil hats and like that's cute.
There's too many jokes in this movie, by the way.
Yeah,
there's a lot of jokes.
I was like, whoa.
It's like, let's not do the jokes. What do we need them for?
Yeah, it's almost like he wanted to undercut everything, which it was like, why are you undercutting all of?
Because he thinks that makes it more human and accessible. That's true. That's my theory.
Yeah.
He thinks that if he adds sort of human jokes, that he takes the thriller down and adds human emotion up.
Right.
Because he didn't want to do a thriller.
Yeah.
He didn't want to make a thriller.
Yeah.
He wanted to make a play. This is a play. If you took the aliens out of it, and just like instead of aliens, just like
it could have been anything. I mean,
if you took the aliens out and put COVID. Honestly, seriously, take the aliens out, make it COVID, and everyone has to stay indoors in this house. This would be a very good movie. It would be a very good movie. Can you fucking believe that? The aliens are what makes it bad. The family drama stuff, fascinating.
Great. I
fascinating.
love Abigail Breslin in this. The way she delivers every
kid.
line, deadpan. Oh my God.
First of all, getting a precious child on film, every movie's trying to do it. This movie
did it.
Oh yeah, she's a home run. Just so cute. It has his amoebas in it, right? Like, come on, great.
Amoebas.
Adorable. Right age, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought was it Rory Culkin? I forget the name of this
I forget which
particular
one it
Culkin.
is. Yeah.
This Culkin was very good in it. But I just. First of all, the best actor in this movie is Joaquin Phoenix.
I love Joaquin
and
Phoenix.
he's not really in it.
I know.
Like he's just kind of hanging around in all these scenes.
I know.
And it's like, why did we cast him in this? What did we want out of him in this? He didn't give him anything to do.
No.
He has one scene with the worst actor I've seen in a very long time.
Which one?
The recruiting general or whatever he was.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
You know what they want to do, don't you? Stealing our power. It was like, what? This guy belongs in like Ace Ventura or something, man. This guy belongs in Tommy Boy.
Yeah, and it being opposite Joaquin Phoenix only like makes it worse because Joaquin is so like grounded and.
So this is a good time to get into the thing that bothers me the most about M. Night Shyamalan. Generally, not about this movie.
Yes.
So M. Night Shyamalan uses camera tricks to hide reality, which people like. But I don't mind it. It's a Hitchcock thing. I don't mind it, but it masks a reality that is fundamentally very stupid. So that scene's a great example. In that scene, we have Joaquin Phoenix's character, Merrill. Is that his name? Merrill. Merrill's at a recruiting office. Presumably, he wants to sign up for the army because he has no point in this movie or life. Right? Yeah. He's in the recruiting office. The recruiter just wants to talk about the aliens. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So then he realizes, I'm talking to this star baseball player, right? And like the whole time you're just like, what are we doing here? And then like, I guess we're going to get some backlog exposition about how good of a baseball player he was. Not the best scene, but fine.
Yeah.
And M. Night Shyamalan's giving these tracking shots and trying to make the scene interesting, and it's not. And then he asks this question. He goes, how many records have you got? 5. Well, why aren't you a professional baseball player? Then his arch nemesis is sitting in the room this whole time.
Yeah.
He's been sitting in the room filling out papers, I guess.
Yeah.
Goes, because he's got another record you don't know about. Doesn't look. We just cut to another angle of some guy who hates Merrill for no reason, explaining why he can't be a professional baseball player. And the only reason it's a reveal is because the camera is shot so weird that you couldn't see him in the room before.
Yeah.
It's like, it should be a comedy. It's not. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit he does.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't like it.
That's great. There was this time I watched it. I had forgotten the self-insert character of M. Night Shyamalan's character.
God.
His little speech, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, it's not up in the pantry. There's an alien. Okay, bye." And he just like zooms
Okay,
out.
bye. Well, first of all, he wants to call Mel Gibson's character because he feels bad about the accident.
Right.
That part, I totally believe it.
Yeah, that part.
I totally believe it.
Like I liked the connection of like, oh, I think the world's ending, so I needed to call you. Like
I like the words on paper. Yes, I like the words on paper. I don't like the exposition, the execution of it at all.
No.
But I like the words on paper. Mel Gibson is forced by director to go in and lean in this window. And like, I gotta say something. If you didn't want to talk to the guy who killed your wife, you wouldn't do that. No matter how nice of a guy you were, it was like you need to be trapped with this person to have that chat. That's a directing mistake. Like for it to feel real, that person has to trap you in the conversation so you can't get away because they need to get it off their chest. That's a scene.
Yeah.
Instead, he calls Mel Gibson ladled with grief, forsakes God in his grief.
Yes, I was like,
but he's gonna go to this guy's house?
Yeah.
Get out of
it's
here.
Like he's not a pastor right now. Like
why would he? Right, he's not a pastor right now.
He's acting like a pastor, which in this point of the movie, his character, the whole point of it is that he has given that up. So
right, I don't see it, and don't tell me, oh, it's habit, and oh, he's a pastor by nature. It's like no. Being a pastor is actually hard.
Yeah,
like it's a hard job because you don't want to go to those kinds of things. But it's your faith that makes you go. Yeah. So when you lose that, you wouldn't go.
There's no reason to go.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Like, why would you go?
Right, dumb. So there's that. Number 2, M. Night Shyamalan, wonderful filmmaker, wonderful writer, horrible actor. Doesn't belong in the movie. And he's really only there to be like, I'm the one who killed your wife, audience. Yep. Spoilers, water. Spoilers, water. How does he know?
I texted you and I was like, I forgot that it's the M. Night Shyamalan character that says, yeah, I'm just gonna like go to water. They don't seem to like water. Anyways, okay, bye, water. It's like, what? And oh my god, I had also forgotten that in the climax of the movie, we have the flashback to the wife, which that's a fine flashback. But
I didn't hate it. I don't hate it.
I was like, we didn't need it. Honestly, we didn't need to see it, but we did, and that's fine. Whatever. But then they flash back to what we saw earlier in the movie. We just saw the movie. We don't need to see Mel Gibson repeat what kind of a person. We just saw that. Yeah. Like we are not that dumb of an audience.
Well, you're not. You're not. I will say that I do think the general movie audience doesn't get frustrated with that scene. I don't think they get frustrated.
That could be true.
We get frustrated because we're in film. We're like, cut this. And we write every day. Like that's
true. Yeah.
It is very repetitive. Well, that's the other thing. It's a long movie for having really not a lot of action in it, like not a lot of substance. It's sort of just slowly, meticulously weaving the web of their aliens, and then this is what they're like, and here's the twist. Yeah. That's really it.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's character, aside from being poorly acted and unnecessary emotionally, his insight into the aliens being afraid of water is awful writing. Awful writing. And like, don't give me War of the Worlds. I've seen War of the Worlds. I understand the idea of War of the Worlds. Yeah. That's a clever twist.
Yes.
Like, War of the Worlds is a clever twist. Yeah. Because that's where aliens don't understand there's microscopic things and they come down, they get sick. Yes. Sure, that would happen. That happened in our history as human beings. That makes sense. An alien who knows if we have weapons and resources but doesn't understand water burns them like it's hydrochloric acid is the shittiest race of aliens in the history of aliens.
In the history of aliens.
Horrible aliens.
Horrible.
What are we talking about?
And then they just fly away.
How could they be burnt by water and be in our atmosphere? They're not wearing spacesuits. No. They're out there with their monster faces. Yeah. Just breathe in the air.
Walking around, making their little clicky noise.
They are making the. Thank you for doing it. I love you so much.
You're welcome.
Very good. Okay. We've shit on science a fair bit here, I would say, right?
I would say.
We've had a good time here.
I would say.
Let me tell you why I like it.
Oh, great.
I think Mel Gibson's conflict is very believable.
Yeah?
I think it's very believable. I don't think the signs are believable. I don't think the aliens are believable. I don't even really think the son's feelings about his father necessarily are believable. Like, those were a little complicated for me. I didn't totally buy it because they kind of ramp up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I forgot that he suddenly was like, you killed mom. I was like, oh, whoa. I didn't know.
Yeah, you let her die.
Yeah,
and that seemed like a person writing something they didn't understand.
Right. Yes.
Mel Gibson's faith journey is a really cool exploration of faith as it exists. Like, a lot of people, I think, they think of faith like a feeling. Like, oh, you have this feeling or you don't have this feeling. That's not what it is. Faith is very much, and it is for any religion, it's or any belief. It's a decision about, I'm going to hold on to these principles and choose to apply them to my circumstances. Some days it's going to feel great and it's going to work out. Some days it's really not, and I'm going to stick with it. That's really what it means. And so this guy was in the middle of the circumstances didn't work out.
Right.
And as a person who's gone through things like that, it's recognizable. Like, the core of it and what he's going through is recognizable. I guarantee you that's why Mel Gibson did this movie. Because I think Mel Gibson also connected to that idea.
Yeah.
And you could tell because he unleashed his feelings, just unleashed them. And they were amazing. They're amazing feelings. It's hard not to see them through the lens of the other things he's done.
Right.
But if you can just imagine this person as a character and imagine this character's journey as being real, we rarely explore the idea of faith anymore.
Yeah,
and I know
for sure.
why. Because we're afraid of the dogmas, right? And we're afraid of, like, the beliefs, and people don't agree about the beliefs. But the experience of faith in general is interesting. Like, it's very interesting. Whether that's faith in, like, your team or faith in your cause or faith in your spouse or that experience of I'm going to believe this when circumstances say it's not going to work out is a core human experience. And there's so few movies about it. And this one is a really good exploration of that. Really good. With a really bad movie around it. And it's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's a bummer because, like, wow, what a cool story.
Yeah.
Not because he becomes a reverend at the end. It's not even that. The scene you were mocking, there's two kinds of people. And it does deserve to be mocked. The feelings in it, though, are really good. The lighting and the shots are really good. Like, M. Night Shyamalan's doing really good work there.
To me, it's what I at least clear. Like, that's what M. Night Shyamalan cared about the most to talk about.
Was right.
Yeah.
I think there was no alien that could have been as good as that topic.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it would have been better if the alien was not humanoid. And, you know, like, I can see working backwards how, and I don't know his background. I don't know what his faith views are. I can see working backwards how he's like, I have these, like, 4 different elements I got to weave together in one climax. I got glasses of water. I got kid with asthma. I got this guy's got a bat.
Right.
I got this guy has no faith.
Yeah.
So, like, and I got to tie them all together.
Yeah.
Right. And but people are gonna think I'm insane when I say this, but it's true. That tying together is what people with faith do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I grew up, you know.
As you did, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, and I think when I watched it at 11, I mean, at the time I was, you know, surrounded by religious people. So, like, it, you know, was like, oh, yeah, like this.
But it's not, let's take the religion out of it because I think that makes it inaccessible for some people. Put it more like a conspiracy, right? Like tying the dots of conspiracy.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the middle of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Getting home from the hospital with coronavirus. That's happening right this minute.
Yeah.
That news broadcast hit right as we started recording. So if you've been reading the news, the news on different channels has all been very different, and what's come through is basically people's presuppositions about what to think about Donald Trump.
Right.
And that's completely colored every remark that everyone has said about his health. And like, so watching people cohere into a narrative where like some experts are like, he's got serious COVID, he's in danger of death. And then some people like, he's a hero. He's going to be like, heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's strong. He's going to come up through it. He's actually doing fine. This is all media hyperbole. And we'll see. We'll see. I think he's probably pretty sick, but like, but you see how people on like, just from an objective point of view, people are using their beliefs and taking facts and assembling a narrative.
Yeah.
That is what faith does.
Oh, yeah. When we were watching, I was like, this is QAnon, basically. Someone like taking the bits and pieces and putting together and creating a narrative that for you explains all of the things. Creating a worldview that makes sense to you, taking all the information.
I think, and maybe this is hard to communicate to people who don't understand. All of us are doing that.
Yes.
Like whether it's conspiracy or not, we're all doing this. And there's just not a lot of narrative about that. And I respect that about this movie because it's core. It's a core human thing. And it's very effusive. And so people have to pick topics that are usually religious to communicate it because there's so many given values. But you could easily see any movie where the idea of faith against like circumstances is very compelling. That's what most sports movies are.
Yeah, I like sports movies.
Yeah, but sports movies are faith movies generally. You know, they're like, we're gonna make it. That's why Angels in the Outfield was such a huge hit because it's marrying actual faith dogma with faith. You know, because that's what it's always about. Yeah, I just find that interesting. I just wrote a feature film that's also a sort of faith with no religion in it, but just the idea of believing something because you need to believe it.
Right.
And I'm hoping that there are more stories about that in the coming years because I think we know more about it than we think. And I hope that's what I love about this movie. I want to see more of this. Not more of any of the rest of it, though. Not more Mel Gibson.
Right.
Not more
people
aliens. Not
believing in.
No, people having some kind of an aspiration, right? Or having lost some kind of an aspiration, right? And having a story where everything squeezes them to the point where they have to either give it up or believe against belief that it will happen. I think that's a fundamental human experience. And there's not a lot of movies like that. You know, there's a lot of movies that sort of wash over that if you get down into the microcosm of it. But like that's also one of the reasons why The Matrix was so great. The Matrix is a movie about faith.
Yeah.
You know, like and he does not want to have faith. That's what makes it work. He wants like just give me information, but the information breaks my brain. I can't accept it. And then slowly he grows to believe. That's what I mean. The movie says that all the time, and I think we're out of touch with that culturally, and it's important. Like, not the beliefs necessarily, that's not what I'm getting at, but like, we're out of touch with the idea of like, no, hope is a part of, hope as a verb is a part of what makes us human. We're missing that.
Right. I disagree that we're missing it, actually. I'm not.
In movies we are. I just mean, in movies, I'm not seeing a lot of that. I'm not seeing a lot of that in movies.
Sure.
Maybe it's there and I'm missing all the movies with that in it.
I mean, that's one of my favorite things to write about, I think, is that feeling of, exactly that, holding on to a thing that you don't know, but you have to believe, because what was the point of anything without it?
Right. Yes. Yeah, that you just described it perfectly.
Yeah.
What was the point of anything if I don't have that?
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, Signs is about a guy who is on the other side of that question. What was the point since I didn't have it?
Right.
Which makes rarely are movies about that because it's so dark. You know, it's but I just find that really interesting. That's all. I've spent enough time on that. So, you know, the core of Signs. Let's save the core of Signs.
The core.
But the rest of it, let's discard it. Poor Joaquin Phoenix. What's he doing in that movie?
Joaquin. That was the first movie I ever saw him in. First time I was like...
What's the last movie you can think of that had that topic in it?
Like,
Had this sort of like, I gotta believe in something.
I mean...
Like, isn't Happiness, that Will Smith movie, isn't that kind of the idea of happiness?
I
haven't seen that. But...
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. Okay. I'm drawing a blank on any movie that I've seen.
That's why I'm thinking of a lot of movies where like people work out their problems by a narrative that's sort of tangentially or not at all related, but parallels it or whatever. And they don't, they sort of are forced to a place where they have to make a decision that substitutes for this. But they fundamentally are in despair about the problem in their life. I see a lot of that in movies. You know, like Annihilation is a movie I would say that's kind of like that. You know, or like, I don't know, I can go on and on. Did you see Midsummer? Have you seen that movie?
No.
So there's an interesting contrast, especially for your movie. So Midsummer is a movie where like this group of friends is sort of, because one of them is Swedish, they go on this like summer trip to Swedish midsummer.
Campland.
It's not a camp. It's like it's a religious observance of some kind. I don't know what faith it is or if it's even real. And then it turns into it's a murder cult. That's what it is. The interesting thing is the movie is ostensibly about this lead woman's grief about the loss of her sister and her parents. And so like that's the thing that's being worked out the whole movie. Through these other circumstances. But the thing is, she never chooses to have any hope. Or tries to recover. She just does because external forces make her do it.
Right. She's not, you have it,
But it's like, okay, I can accept that, sure. That's a movie. But like, also it would be interesting if she did try to recover. It's still interesting to watch people try to recover.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
It's still, that's interesting. And like, we need that. You know?
I would say Frozen 2 does a really good job of
Frozen. See, now I'm not surprised that Disney does it.
Yes.
Because Disney's more connected to those things. That's interesting. Okay. I need to think more about this topic.
I would say that's a main crux of the Frozen 2 is her like believing in a thing and having to hold on to that as I don't want to get too much away, but that's
we spoiled a lot of movies, but Frozen 2,
I guess we
Sacred
did.
Cow.
Sacred Cow.
Okay, well, we have some producers we need to thank before we're done.
I forgot.
Otherwise, can you imagine? They'd fire us immediately if we didn't thank them. So I believe if you start with Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. Where are you? Ben. Duncan.
He's right after Garrett Cooper, human being and delightful person.
Peter Jones. Oh, yeah.
Got your name on this podcast a few times, buddy.
Oh, man, that's great. Joel Harper. Joel's a fun name.
He's a publisher.
Oh, hey. Well, I hope you have fun publishing out there.
You ever had Harp, the beer?
Harp the beer. No. Is it good?
Bro. You need to get a lot of harp in you. You need to get it. Yeah.
Wow. What kind of ale is it?
I think it's a pale ale, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I like pale
I used to
ales.
order it when I would frequent. There was a bar in Long Beach I used to go to a lot with some friends. And we would drink harps.
Oh my God, you and your friends. Fun fact, when I was interning at IO Chicago, that was before I was 21. That was the only bar they would let me drink at.
You were drinking Virgin Shirley Temples.
Oh,
so they let you drink there.
Absolutely.
Great.
I thought they were not going to.
Perfect.
That's
Maggie always finds a way.
I always find a way.
You could hear John Hammond saying it right now. Maggie finds a way.
Finds a way. Let's see here. Who else? Zach Gibson, guitar fame. I'm pretty sure I said
the
that
same
last time
joke with this
too.
poor guy.
Yeah, this poor guy.
Zack Attack.
I'll come up with new ones next time.
I appreciate that. Zack Attack, by the way, underappreciated pop culture moment.
Zack Attack.
Yeah, that was in Saved by the Bell. That was the band that all the characters in Saved by the Bell had.
Oh.
They got famous and it just went away.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Saved by the Bell is a cultural blind spot for me. I have nothing. It was before my time, and
oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've been like so much older.
Ooh, man. I don't think I had heard of Saved by the Bell until I was well into my 20s and someone was explaining it to me.
I can't imagine how Saved by the Bell would matter to anybody who did not grow up watching it. Like, I can't fathom who could care.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Screech is incomprehensible now.
Oh, I forgot Screech is from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. That's where he's from.
Literally
Yeah.
the first time I probably heard about it was when someone was explaining to me that he did a sex tape and then had it backwards explained.
We've all heard about the Screech sex tape.
Oh my God.
That's a news story of its own. Please continue. By the way, I think I saw Screech once at a Tower Records in Orange County.
Really?
And it was after the infamous sex tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark me down as a famous man.
Mark me down. Benjamin Egan. If you will, if you're a friend, you call him that. I like 3.14 Pie Guy.
Yeah, Pie Guy.
Pie
He's
Guy.
the best. I love Pie Guy.
Eat you up. I can eat you up. Daniel Christensen.
Maggie bailed real hard on you, Danny. Right? Is that his name, Daniel Christensen?
Never heard of him.
Maggie
don't know
looked at
this
me and was
man.
like, nope. Back to base.
Back to base. And back to one. Kyle Schrotel, which I'm sure I've already said. Check me into the Schrotel.
Yeah, Schrotel, California. That was a joke we made. No-tell, Schrotel. These are all the jokes we got. Yeah.
Tony Fahey.
You're looking at me like I know.
I know.
I'm the one. I put you out to sea here, my friend.
Tony, my man. And then last but definitely least, sorry, Adam Tanium Jello.
You love that.
I do.
You love that so much.
I do.
She kind of lets it roll around in her mouth. She, just like
I'll say it different every time. I don't.
all those heroes whose names have been stated on. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yes.
The greatest friendship podcast in the world.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Probably.
Might be best in the stars. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yep. All those heroes could be you, dear listener, if you, brave enough, chose to join the patron tier, in which you could also be our boss. Give us some topics if you'd please.
Be our boss. Be our boss.
Vote on what topic we do. So this one, generated by and voted on by our bosses.
Yeah,
we do's like they tells us.
We do like it does. I would have never ever shown Adam that movie had it not for been this exact particular topic. No,
that's correct.
I would
So
never do that
producers,
to you.
shoved this in my eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel
so
a little guilty
much.
about it.
So much for helping us. We love you guys. There isn't a show without you. And there's also not a show without us. And we got to do something else now. So,
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.